Embark on a journey to the Harlem Renaissance, a time when Harlem buzzed with an unprecedented fusion of creativity and cultural expression. What were the key elements and who were the visionaries that ignited this remarkable musical revolution? Find out today on History Habit, your portal to the past. It's sometime in the early 1920s. Our story takes place in Harlem, New York, in the United States of America. Let's turn back the hands of time and step into the streets of Harlem during the 1920s and 30s, a period of intellectual, social, and artistic explosion. A time when Harlem was the mecca of black culture, the pulsating beats, the soulful tunes, the birthplace of jazz and blues music that echoed the voices of the community, their joy, their pain, their struggle. But the Harlem Renaissance was not simply a time of musical transformation. It was an era that used the universal language of music as a form of resistance, a form of self-expression. This era was not just about music, but a cry for freedom, a rhythm of resistance. The Harlem Renaissance was a symphony of voices, each with a distinct rhythm, each telling a unique story. Among these voices, some resonated louder, their rhythms echoed through the corridors of time. Let's delve into the lives of Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, and Bessie Smith, the maestros whose music was not just a melody but a movement. Duke Ellington, a name synonymous with jazz, was more than just a musician. He was an architect of sound. With his orchestra, he painted pictures in the air using notes instead of colors. His compositions, like Mood Indigo and Sophisticated Lady, were not just songs but narratives of the African American experience, subtly challenging the racial status quo. Then there was Louis Armstrong, the man with the golden trumpet. He transformed jazz from a collective improvisation into a soloist's art. His innovative techniques like scat singing paved the way for future genres like rock and roll and hip-hop. But Armstrong's music was also his voice of resistance. In songs like Black and Blue, he laid bare the raw reality of racial discrimination, using the power of his music to highlight the injustices his people faced. And we can't forget Bessie Smith, the Empress of the Blues. Her soulful voice and emotive lyrics touched on themes of poverty, injustice, and unrequited love. Smith's music resonated with the masses, for it was a reflection of their own struggles. Her songs were a call to action, a rallying cry for equality and fairness. These musicians were not just entertainers, they were storytellers, revolutionaries, and advocates for change. They wielded their music as a weapon, challenging societal norms and expressing the collective hopes, desires, and frustrations of their community. These musicians not only played notes, but they played their hearts out, expressing their struggles, hopes, and dreams. Their music was the heartbeat of Harlem, a rhythm of resistance that continues to reverberate through the annals of history. Music is the language of the soul, a universal medium that transcends borders and breaks barriers. It's a form of communication that does not require any translation, yet it speaks volumes. It has the power to convey emotions, to inspire, and to unite. It is an expression of identity and a means of resistance. Music was not just a form of entertainment, it was a statement, an assertion of identity and freedom. It gave voice to the voiceless, and it served as an affirmation of existence, a defiant stand against oppression. During the Harlem Renaissance, music was a catalyst for change. It was a rallying call that united communities and sparked protests. It was the soundtrack to the struggle, the rhythm of resistance. The influence of African rhythms, the soulful melodies of blues, and the improvisational spirit of jazz all came together to create a unique sound that echoed through the streets of Harlem. This music was a form of self-expression, a way for the African American community to tell their stories, to share their experiences, and to express their hopes and dreams. It was a way to reclaim their identity and to assert their place in society. This music was a form of protest, a way to challenge the status quo and to demand change. In the hands of the musicians, their instruments were not just tools for creating music, they were weapons of resistance. Every strum, every beat, every note was a call to action, a call for equality and justice. This music was a beacon of hope, a beacon that shone brightly amidst the darkness, a beacon that guided the way towards a better future. Let us remember this period, not just for the music that it produced, but for the impact that it had, for the change that it inspired, and for the power of music as a tool for resistance and self-expression. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe for more of your favorite moments in history. Leave a comment below with what you want to see next on History Habit, your portal to the past.